for glory. I now turn to Ridge Valley School. Thank you.
Thank you, Irene. Greetings, everyone. We are the delegates from Ridge Valley School, Gurgaon, and our theme is biodiversity and nature-based solutions. As the naturalist David Attenborough once said, it seems to me that the natural world is the greatest source of excitement, greatest source of natural beauty, and greatest source of intellectual learning. And it is the greatest source of so much that the life is nothing without it. With that thought in mind, we are excited to present our ideas and our thoughts in front of the delegates. Over to my team.
Before we begin, I'd like you all to close your eyes for a moment. Think of your safe space, somewhere that once made you feel at peace. Maybe it was your childhood park, a quiet patch of green, or the shade of an old tree. For me, it was a small green belt near my home in Gurugram. Rows of neem and amaltas trees filled with dragonflies after rain. But as I grew older, that space disappeared, replaced by a glass office complex. And with it, the sparrows, the rustling leaves, and a part of my calm were gone. That's when I realized that biodiversity loss isn't distant. It's deeply personal. Once part of the semi-arid Aravali ecosystem, my hometown has lost nearly 60% of its native green cover in 2 decades due to rapid urbanization. The Aravali biodiversity belt, home to species like the golden jackal and the Indian hare, is shrinking, causing ecological imbalance, rising air pollution, and extreme heat. And that is exactly why 1.5 matters to us. A 1.5 degrees Celsius rise in global temperature could push 14% of terrestrial species towards extinction. For India, this means increasing droughts, crop failures, and the loss of native flora and fauna. To heal our planet, we first need to understand what's harming it. In the next part of our presentation, we'll explore the major root causes of biodiversity loss, discover inspiring national and international efforts to solve them, and reflect on what we as the youth can do to make a real difference.
The first root cause we'll be addressing is habitat destruction due to urbanization, which is one of the leading factors of biodiversity loss across the world. We are pushing our cities to the limit, replacing them with native forests, wetlands, and farmlands, filling them up with concrete. Is this what we really want to do? Do we also want to put an end to all the species that are there and ruin our local climate? But is hope still lost? No. India is one of the world's 17 mega-diverse nations, which shelters nearly 8% of the global biodiversity which is there. This would also include thousands of unique plants and animal species. Yet, urbanization, habitat loss, and weak local implementation threaten this wealth. Limited youth participation further showcases our slow progress. The need of the hour is reconnecting communities, especially students like us, with nature through education, innovation, and policy participation. By promoting awareness and youth-led conservation, India can protect its biodiversity and secure a sustainable, resilient future for both the people and the planet. At Ridge Valley School, we actively work to restore its urban growth. Through the Children's Forest Program with OISCA North India, our students plant saplings and create microforests around our campus. Our students have also worked on the organic mini farm which we have, which is going to teach us about sustainable farming and will reconnect to us with our mother, our soil. We want to ensure that nature and development can coexist together. India's Green India Mission, the National Biodiversity Act, and the Biodiversity Register Scheme and the Aravali Biodiversity Park showcase how urban forests can help mitigate urban heat islands and enhance local biodiversity. Globally, Costa Rica's Payment for Ecosystem Services program doubled forest cover by incentivizing reforestation, proving that economic growth and ecological restoration can go hand in hand.
To promote sustainable city development, the government must offer explicit incentives to developers who design keeping biodiversity in mind. These may include tax rebates, prompt approvals, and green building certifications for businesses incorporating green roofs and native landscapes. Steps like these will get the private sector on board with national biodiversity measures and lessen the ecological impact of urban sprawl. Going eco-friendly will help preserve local biodiversity. Moreover, this will also enhance climate resilience and urban livability. City and state governments must adopt and enforce stricter zoning laws and building regulations. Unchecked urban construction continues largely because zoning policies are either weak or poorly implemented. Enforcing green buffers, limiting construction in ecologically sensitive zones, and mandating compensatory afforestation are essential next steps to restore balance between development and ecology. The youth can protect nature by doing schemes like planting native species, creating pollinator gardens, and developing urban wetlands. Teachers and students can work with local authorities to create green maps of biodiversity, which can highlight them as endangered areas.
Unsustainable extraction of water, minerals, and forest resources has led to ecosystem collapse and disrupted natural cycles. When we exploit more than nature can renew, the planet's balance breaks and the temperature rises. In our school, we encourage resource responsibility through water conservation campaigns, rainwater harvesting projects, and awareness drives on energy efficiency. Students also learn sustainable consumption by reducing waste and recycling materials creatively during environmental weeks. India's ISRO Bhuvan Geoportal provides real-time satellite data on vegetation and wetland health. Globally, Kenya's community conservancy model empowers locals to co-manage land and water, ensuring that natural wealth benefits both people and the planet. We recommend smart resource management systems powered by AI that combine these two, by monitoring soil moisture, tracking water levels, forecasting drought patterns, and helping to identify highly endangered sites. AI analytics can optimize irrigation and renewable energy use, with protecting vulnerable sites, resulting in sustenance of existing resources, ensuring sustainable growth without overuse of resources.
Industrial expansion has created toxic air, polluted rivers, and degraded soil, damaging ecosystems and public health. Pollution is now one of the largest contributors to climate change. Ridge Valley students address this through e-waste collection drives, zero waste-free Sangat events, and plastic-free campus initiatives. These not only reduce waste, but inspire community participation in pollution prevention. India's adoption to the eDNA technology enables early detection of pollutants and invasive species in water systems. On the global front, UNESCO's Man and the Biosphere program links 140 nations in reducing pollution and promoting sustainable living through research and education. AI can strengthen monitoring systems through pollution prediction models that use industrial data to forecast emissions and alert authorities. Citizen reporting apps with AI and GIS integration can empower communities to identify and stop illegal dumping or emissions in real time.
By promoting sustainable living and embracing AI-based environmental monitoring, we act as ambassadors for biodiversity and climate resilience. We aim to expand our efforts through a Youth for 1.5 degrees Celsius network, connecting schools to collaborate on green innovation, share data-driven ideas, and create local impact for global change. Our plan is practical because it bridges awareness with innovation. It connects classrooms to communities, technology to ecology, and students to the planet's future. We invite schools, local bodies, and policymakers to start community-based reforestation, AI monitoring, and zero-waste practices this year. By taking these steps forward, India strengthens its path towards the 1.5 degrees Celsius goal, showing that progress and preservation can move together. Our planet is speaking through droughts, floods, and fading forests. And today, we choose to listen. Let's be the generation that listens, acts, and restores. Together, we are the voice of the planet, proud to propose thank you.